Many people believe that refusing someone who is begging for help is selfish. That is not true. Sometimes helping does not save anyone. It only allows the other person to keep living off your money, your time, and your compassion. Imagine a phone call at midnight, a long message about debt, an unfair boss, and how they have no one else to turn to. Then comes the familiar line, "Just this once. I will pay you back next month." You know you have heard that before, but your hand still opens the banking app. You transfer the money because you are afraid that refusing will make you a bad person. That is the pressure point an exploiter pushes. They make you feel guilty. Then that guilt opens your wallet and breaks your boundaries for them. If you have ever said yes when your heart wanted to say no, comment, "Enough." That is the first step toward taking back your right to choose. This video will help you recognize 5 types of people you should stop rescuing, even when they cry, make promises, or accuse you of being heartless. You will also learn what to say so you can refuse without arguing. But do not judge someone just because they struggle once. Look at the repeated pattern. After receiving help, do they become more responsible? Do they change their behavior? And how do they react when you stop rescuing them from the consequences? These 3 questions separate someone facing a crisis from someone who has turned hardship into a tool for controlling you. The first type has a heartbreaking story, but never takes responsibility. The first type is someone who is always in crisis, but never takes responsibility. They always have a reasonable story that makes you feel sorry for them. They lost their job because their boss was terrible. They ran out of money because their friends pressured them. They are in debt because life is unfair. They have conflicts because other people do not understand them. At first, you think they just need one opportunity. But after every rescue, the problem returns under a different name. What never changes is that they still stand outside the consequences they created. This is the psychological mechanism. When someone always has another person cleaning up behind them, they never feel the cost of their bad choices. Without a cost, there is no motivation to change. You pay the debt. You apologize for them. You make the calls to fix the problem. Meanwhile, they learn one thing. Create a crisis, then find the right person to make feel guilty. Helping this way is like pumping blood into a wound that is never bandaged. The harder you try to save them, the more exhausted both of you become. The better response is not to abandon them. It is to move from rescuing them to requiring responsibility. You can say, "I can help you make a plan, but I will not pay this debt for you." Or, "I will show you how to handle it, but you have to do the hard part yourself." Someone who wants to change may feel disappointed, but they will still start taking action. Someone who only wants to be rescued will get angry, blame you, or find someone more easily manipulated. Pay attention to that reaction. It tells you whether they need a path forward or just someone to keep carrying them. The right kind of kindness creates responsibility. The wrong kind of kindness feeds dependence. The second type is someone who only comes to you when they need something. When their life is going well, you do not exist. They do not ask how you are doing. They do not show up when you are struggling. They do not remember the times you helped them. But when they need money, a place to stay, or a connection, they suddenly become close to you. "Long time no see. I miss you so much. You are the only one who understands me." Then, a few sentences later, the request appears. You may have experienced this before. They text you at night because they need to borrow money. But a week later, when you call because you are going through something, they simply reply, "Let us talk another day." That relationship is like a free gas station. They only stop by when their tank is empty, fill it up, and drive away without caring how exhausted the person left behind has become. Do not rush to judge them based on one incident. Stop reaching out first for a while. Do not text first. Do not check on them first. Do not solve their problems for them. If the relationship disappears when the flow of benefits stops, you have your answer. Someone who values you stays when you are no longer useful. The third type is someone who repeatedly ruins the opportunities you create for them. You help them get a job, but they show up late. You let them stay with you, but they turn your home upside down. You use your reputation to connect them with someone important, but they act irresponsibly and leave you to apologize for them. Then they call it bad luck and ask for another chance. Most people keep helping because they think next time will be different. But when you repeatedly shield them from the consequences, they learn that opportunities have no value because there will always be another door opened by you. Someone who appreciates an opportunity will protect it as if they were protecting their own honor. They prepare, they keep their word. They understand that your reputation is also on the line. The solution is not to argue about the past. Stop giving them another guarantee. You can say, I can show you how to handle this, but I will not keep using my reputation to vouch for you. Then let them take responsibility for everything that remains. You can show them the way. But do not break down another wall to create an escape route for someone who keeps returning to the same room. And the next type does not just take advantage of opportunities, they also turn your kindness into an obligation. The fourth type is someone who turns your kindness into an obligation. At first, they ask for a small favor. You help because you care. They thank you. But after a few times, their requests turn into demands. If you agree, they take it for granted. If you refuse, their tone changes. You have changed. You cannot even help with this one small thing? I thought you were a good person. This is no longer just a one-sided relationship. This is boundary manipulation. They know you are afraid of being seen as selfish and do not want to disappoint anyone. So, instead of using reason, they target your guilt. You do not help because you want to. You help to escape the feeling that you are a bad person. This feeling is dangerous because it does not come from doing something wrong. It is created to keep you doing what benefits them. A family member calls just as you get off work. They want you to cancel your own plans to deal with the consequences they created. When you hesitate, they say, "Why are you keeping score with family?" That one sentence makes you cancel your appointment, withdraw money, and carry a problem that does not belong to you. Every time this happens, your boundary moves back another step. A better response is to refuse, clearly, briefly, and without leaving room for negotiation. You can say, "I am very sorry about what happened to you, but my time and finances are already committed elsewhere. I cannot help this time." If they keep pressuring you, repeat, "I understand that you are disappointed, but my decision has not changed." Do not explain further. The longer your explanation, the more points a manipulator has to argue against. Then watch their reaction. Someone who respects you may feel upset, but they will still respect your answer. Someone who wants to control you will attack you, shame you, or threaten to end the relationship. At that point, the problem was never that they needed help. The problem was that they wanted the right to control your kindness. You are not a bad person for setting boundaries. You are simply ending someone else's assumed right to use your time, money, and kindness. But the final type is even more dangerous. They do not just want you to keep giving. They want you to stay weak forever so you will never dare to stop. The fifth and most dangerous type is someone who wants you to stay weak so they can always rely on you. They do not just need your money or your time. They need you to remain the version of yourself who is easy to guilt and easy to control. When you try to save money, they call you selfish. When you set a boundary, they remind you of everything they have suffered to pull you back into the role of rescuer. When you become stronger and learn to say no, they lose the access that made their life easier. They do not oppose your boundary because it is wrong. They oppose it because that boundary forces them to take responsibility for themselves. Stop explaining yourself. Limit their access to your time, your money, and your important decisions. You can say, "I understand that you do not like this decision, but I will not change my boundary just to make you feel more comfortable." These 5 types of people are different, but they all have one thing in common. They refuse to change, then expect you to pay the price. Over the next 7 days, choose one small boundary and hold it. Do not lend any more money. Do not apologize for them. Do not fix the consequences for them. Comment boundaries if you are starting today. Subscribe to the channel to learn how to protect your energy and your peace. In the next video, I will show you how to say no without over-explaining, arguing, or feeling like a bad person. Kindness does not make you weak. Giving it to the wrong person is what makes you pay a heavy price.